Today's topic is Chapter 5 in your textbook, Retail Market Strategy, Building a Sustainable Competitive Advantage. The first question we have to ask is, what is the definition of retail market strategy? Well, according to our textbook, it's a statement identifying the retailer's target market, the format the retailer plans to use to satisfy the target market's needs, and the basis on which the retailer plans to build a sustainable competitive advantage. But what is a sustainable competitive advantage, and how do you build that? How your business is unique to other businesses. And you have to, in order to be sustainable and competitive, you have to be able to maintain that uniqueness long term. There's a business here in Twin Falls, that mattress business, that constantly has a sale going. And to me, it makes their sales worthless, because I'm not going to shop there and pay full price for something because I already know that it'll be on sale in a matter of days or weeks. So their effectiveness for full pricing is moot. People expect to be able to get the discount, therefore those discounts are now their regular prices. So you build a sustainable competitive advantage by building on things that you can make special and unique to your business. In your textbook, it shows a perceptual map of women's clothing stores in the Washington, D.C. area. The bottom left quadrant is low customer service and traditional lines of merchandise. Kmart, Walmart, and Sears each meets that. Chico's and Talbot's meet a unique point of view because they are traditional lines of clothing, but they offer more extensive customer service. If you are looking for fashion-forward items, you could go to Blue Fly, Forever 21. If you are willing to do the searching yourself, you might even go to TJ Maxx. If you want high customer service and cutting-edge fashion, you might be looking for Neiman Marcus or Bloomingdale's. Each section, each quadrant, has its own unique customer breakdown, and you need to determine where your customers fit within this 4-quadrant layout. So for your business, substitute the top text where it says fashion forward for cutting edge. So does your business provide cutting edge products or services, or do you offer a more traditional line? Do you provide extensive customer service or limited customer service? So think for a little bit about how you fit in and where your competition fits in, because it can help you determine where there are opportunities that other competitors have not taken advantage of. Looking at this list, if I were building a store, a women's clothing store, I would build something along the lines of Talbot's or Chico's, and I would offer traditional lines, maybe a few fashion-forward items just to pique people's interest, and I would offer extensive customer service. Because I'm going to be able to increase my prices more, I can't compete with Walmart, but I would be able to justify that by the personal service and personal attention customers are going to receive. Depending upon the textbook version that you have, I'm on page 131, and we're looking at the strategic retail planning process, and there are 7 steps. I'd like to think you just nice and neatly go through each step, but in reality, you're likely to do a lot of skipping around. The first step is to define your business mission. Then you step in and you do a situation audit, what's going on around you. You identify the best opportunities, but through brainstorming. You evaluate each of the opportunities that you've come up with, and you establish which ones you're going to be putting into place. You make them measurable, and you allocate resources. Then you put them into place, and you implement them using into your retail mix, and then finally you evaluate the results. So let's look at it through an example. In this case, we have Doggy Doo. It's an indoor play area. Doggy Doo's mission is to provide a safe, fun environment where dogs can play, socialize, exercise, and train off-leash, and to promote responsible dog ownership, thus enhancing the quality of life for dogs and their owners. Providing this environment, will allow the owner to earn a steady income of $35,000 per year. So that's the business mission. That's step one. Once you have your mission statement, then you're ready to set your objectives. In support of exercise and socializing and, of course, bringing in cash, the objectives directly tie into the mission statement, and they are offer a variety of training sessions and offer doggy daycare. Once you've got that in place, then you're ready to do a situation audit. And the first step is a SWOT analysis. So start with the strengths. What does your business do better than anyone? Well, in my case, my business provides strong employee to dog ratio so that the dogs are safe and enjoy a protected, playful environment. What other strengths? My location is indoors, so dogs stay clean. Weaknesses. Let's say that I'm located at the place next to Fred Meyer. So a weakness might be that it's kind of small and it's a little difficult. I could, even if I used one side for larger dogs and half of the other side for small dogs and then the rest for retail and office and checkout space, it's still kind of cramped. What opportunities, based on competitors' weaknesses, what opportunities are available? Well, I need to look at my competitors. One that I actually took my dog to not too long ago is called Mystic Paws. It's a couple doors down from the Hop To It place downtown. And an opportunity I would have in comparison with them is that they don't market. They're in a very difficult to find location. I drove past them twice before I realized they were down in the middle of a warehouse. So my opportunity would be that I would have a stronger, more accessible location. And then you do that for each one of your competitors. Your threats, based on your weaknesses or on the weaknesses for my business, what opportunities are available to my competition? Well, all Mystic Paws would have to do is to advertise. They have a larger location and they might be able to capitalize on that more effectively, because that is a weakness that I have. Once you've gone through your situation audit as far as the SWOT analysis, you're ready to move into the general factors, because now you've got a pretty good feel for what's going on with your competition. So now you're looking at your market factors. Things like market size, and is your market growing or declining? Do you have seasonality? In my case, I would probably have a dip in spring and fall because people would want to go outside when it's not too hot or too cold. What competitive factors are in place? Not just with my direct competition, but other areas of competition. People staying home with their dogs. Are my competitors able to negotiate better contracts with vendors? If I'm carrying a vendor's products and I can't negotiate a good rate, I'm going to have to charge more than someone else. Or perhaps my competition will be able to negotiate a lockout and I won't be able to access that product at all because they'll have an exclusive contract. And if it's a popular item that's important to my customers, that puts me at a significant disadvantage. I also need to look at environmental factors. Are there governmental regulations that I need to take into consideration? Is there zoning changes that are going to be coming into play? Once I've completed my strategic audit, I'm ready to move in to identifying strategic opportunities. And you're best doing this if you have a group of people that you trust so you can brainstorm. It's going to give you a wider variety of results. The first thing that you do is set up your growth opportunities. What can you do with your business to make money? We're not really looking at what you can do, how you can market your business. We're looking at things you can do within your business. Either horizontal growth or vertical growth within your business. Dog treats. If I were to make them myself, they'd cost me about 50 cents. I could package them and sell them in my business and sell them for about $4. That's going to get me quite a bit of money. Okay, so that market attractiveness is great. There is quite a bit of competition with custom-made dog treats, so my competitive position, though, is only about medium. Custom clothing by Doggy Doo with my logo on it. Hey, I'm going to assume market attractiveness is high for my logo and for my doggy clothes. Others aren't offering this, so I have a good competitive position. Doggy home care. Maybe I'm going to have employees in their off hours provide care for animals and checking in on animals at home. So I survey my customers and maybe I find out that's not really something they're looking for. So the market attractiveness is low. Others aren't offering this, so my competitive position is high. And then you'd go through each one and you determine what you want to do. Once you've picked out a couple that you want to go forward with, because you can't do everything all the time. You have to get some sleep, and if you spread yourself too thin, you're going to fail completely. So you pick out one or two of the items that you want to explore further and evaluate them. So I narrow it down to these two. I'm going to make dog treats and clothing when I'm not at work. Then I need to establish objectives and set financial resources. So when I set my objectives, I need to make them into a measurable format. So I have a time frame, I have an amount, and I have a specific task. I'm going to bring in $300 per month in sales in dog treats and $200 per month in clothing. Then I'm going to determine how I'm going to sell. What is the retail mix? Well, I'm going to sell at the Saturday market, I'll sell online, and I'll sell in store. Those are the channels I'm going to use. Once I've finished and I've been selling them, I evaluate. Looking at the dog treats, selling them at the Saturday market, maybe I didn't sell as well as I was hoping. Maybe it turns out that not that many dog owners come to Saturday market. So I feel I might be able to sell more at dog-related city events because it would be able to focus on dog owners and would be able to build my brand more effectively. It's just a circle, and you keep going through. Please take a look at the Hot Topic case study. For me, it's on page 137. When Hot Topic first started, they were targeting the goth people, and they had a lot of black and things that attracted that segment of a target audience. But as goth went out of fashion, Hot Topic kept with the same strategy, and their sales declined. So they had to look at what they were doing and identify opportunities for change. And as you read through, you'll see what they chose in their change and how they implemented it, and you'll see the results. Please enjoy that case study, and that brings Retail Market Strategy lecture to a close.